Hi, and welcome to our demonstration of onboarding a new member of staff using the DocuWare solution. So today, what I'm going to do is start with our person, Simon Stone. Now, Simon takes the role of our HR director in today's demo. And you'll see, following a successful application process and successful interview process, Simon has an applicant, Peter Sanders. So Simon's going to very simply go ahead and hire Peter. Now, in this case, of course, this will kick off a lot of manual processes in the background because, of course, we're going to let Peter know, and we've sent an email out to Peter just to let him know that was automatically sent from the DocuWare solution. We've also generated contracts for Peter so he can go ahead and sign to say he's joining the business here today. So where we're going to start our demo here now is actually the point where we've received Simon's contract back, or Peter's contract, as the case may be. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and in Simon's tray, I'm just going to import Peter's new contract. And there it is. So we'll go ahead and import that into our system today. And in a few seconds, there it is, just arrived into the DocuWare solution. We'll go ahead and store this away. So we'll store it against our signed employee contracts. Now, we do have two options here within DocuWare. Firstly, of course, you could use our intelligent indexing tool. Now, this makes things super simple because it would go ahead and capture all this information for me. However, for the purpose of today's demo, I would like to show you our intelligent capture tool. That's one-click index. Now, if I go ahead and just point at the information on our document here, you'll see just by clicking, the information's passed over into our fields. Nice and quick and easy. We can go ahead and add any other information. So I might want to type some information in that isn't available on the actual document itself. Give it a date. If the person that we're hiring is a contractor, then of course they may have an expiration date. Because we're onboarding this person as a completely new member of staff, but a full-time person, no contracts, we can go ahead and onboard them without an expiration date. They're going to be coming into our sales team. So again, I can add them into our sales team as well. And simply by submitting that, a process will kick off in the background. So straight away, we can see that I've been given a task. And that task, of course, is to help me onboard that new person there. So straight away, I can see all the information for the person that's being onboarded. I've got access to that straight away, and I can start to either cancel the process, of course, meaning that unfortunately we can't take Peter on anymore. We could choose to put his start date on hold, or in this case, we're going to go ahead and start to add some of the data and the equipment that Peter's going to be requiring as he carries out his job role with us. So the first thing we can do here is go ahead and onboard for the equipment. So we can send an email out to his supervisor, letting him know that he needs to onboard new equipment for this new person. The second thing we can do is start to send links to forms so that, again, they haven't got to go looking for that. They can straight away find that information without going searching. I can give us our start date and, of course, any external comments. If I add any comments here, that would, of course, go back out to our applicant just to let them know where we are in this particular process. The final thing that I can do here is go ahead and add our employee data. So just by going into our employee data record here, I can start to onboard Peter's information. Now, of course, this is something that would normally be done on the first day of their employment. So simply by being able to go ahead and complete the information up front, we've been able to make sure that their first day is actually interesting rather than being something that is just taken on typing their name. There we go. And their employment start date will be tomorrow as well. Any home information that we want to add, of course, we can go ahead and do that. We can choose ID that we might want to upload. And of course, by clicking our link here, I'm able to access Peter's driving license and go ahead and attach it to that form there for us there. We can give our marital status and any other information that we might want to include, bank details, any kind of P46 or P60 information that may need to be added in here. We have a P45, we can go ahead and complete that as well. We'll pop that into the document ready to be submitted. Once we're happy, Peter can go ahead and sign the form and he can submit that straight into the business. So the first thing we've been able to notice there, we can complete this form from anywhere on the planet, any time of day or night, on any device that's most comfortable to us. The information can be added to the business prior to my start date. So of course, my first day within the organization can become so much more interesting because I can actually get into getting to know people and getting to know the business rather than just completing tasks to make sure that that I can be paid and things. The final thing we're going to do here is go ahead and decide what equipment Peter may require when he starts with the business. So we can let our IT team know that Peter Sanders will be joining us. He's going to start on a certain date. And of course, don't forget to give him those email addresses and things. It's going to be important. So we can let them know what departments, the position that he's going to be taking up there. Yeah, we can add his email address in. I'll use my own for the purpose of today. And then what equipment do we want to assign to Peter? So he can have a laptop and a phone. He may well want a monitor and a mouse and a keyboard. We'll give him Office 365 and SAP connections. Power BI would be useful. Maybe a desk and a chair. Company T-shirt, of course, is making him feel like he's involved. And we'll go ahead and submit that information into the system. Well, simply by submitting that, of course, we're communicating directly with our IT team. So let's have a look at that. If I come into our IT department here, sign in as a gentleman called Brian Ford. Brian takes the role of our IT director in today's demo. So you'll see that Brian's received a task, and Brian's task allows him to go ahead and order any equipment that might be required. So in this case, we can go through and say he's ordering pieces of equipment. So of course, as we scroll down here, we can start to decide what equipment we need to order. We can start to modify it. So it might be that actually we've requested pieces of equipment that actually Peter can't have. Or equally, we can say, yeah, do you know what? The equipment is on hand. It is available to us. So we can go ahead and onboard Peter. You'll see during the application process, a document ID was created. So we can add that straight into our list there. And we can say, yep, we have everything available for Peter. It's ready and waiting for him as soon as he arrives. So the next step we'll have, of course, is when Peter arrives within the organization. And once he arrives, he'll be asked to go and see our IT team. And if I just refresh my screen here, Brian will receive a follow-up task. Now, here's that task where actually we're meeting with Peter and we're able to go ahead and hand over his equipment to him. So what we're able to see here right the way through the process is that we've got a clear, defined process going through and a full audit trail in the background to let us know exactly where all our equipment is and who has it at any period of time. Now, in this case, of course, we could choose to cancel the process if Peter let us know that unfortunately he won't be joining us after all. The second option, of course, is to delay the process where we might say, well, actually, the intended start date has been pushed back. Or finally, no, we're going to hand over that equipment to Peter and say, yes, we confirm that Peter has had his equipment and can go on and start his training processes and start to get to know his new team members. So welcome to the role, Peter. Hopefully you enjoy your time with us here. And for now, guys, thank you for joining us. Hopefully you found that useful, and I'll look to seeing you all very soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Rico.